This is the Horse Radio Network.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1366, an excerpt from the monthly Certified Horsemanship Association episode on Horses in the Morning, where Christy Landwehr and Terry Williams offer some advice on training a horse and rider to be equally adept on both leads at the Canter or Lope. This tip is brought to you today by Wintec Saddles, and why don't we hear a little bit about what's happening over at Wintec before we get to our tip. Available now from leading retailers throughout North America, the new and improved range from Wintec, the world's favorite synthetic saddle brand. Combining hard-wearing materials with best-in-class technology, the range of new and improved Wintec saddles now has something for every discipline, conformation, and budget. The new specialist conformation saddle models include the Wintec 2000 High Wither All-Purpose, Wintec 2000 Wide All-Purpose, and the Wintec Pro Wide Dressage. And that's not all. Improved comfort for you and your horse with super soft panels that mold in and around your horse's working muscles for a closer, more stable fit. Plus, the amazing new saddle flap that contours around your horse, channeling your thigh to improve contact. Head out to your local retailer and have a sit in one of the new and improved Wintec saddles, or visit them online at wintecsaddles, that's saddles plural, .us. wintecsaddles.us.
Well, and sticking with that theme of, horse showing and things, obviously it's important to have two leads at the Canter or the Lope, even if you trail ride or don't horse show, but it's really important if you horse show. So what do you do, Terry, for riders who find their horses only have one lead at the Canter or the Lope instead of two?
A lot of times it starts out with that can be a rider problem too. I mean, it could also be a horse issue. Sometimes horses are stiffer one direction than the other. So you have to work on bending and counterbending to help make them more flexible. Every horse should be able to move his hips and his shoulders as you ask. So basically, one thing to keep in mind that a lot of people out there, other than riding instructors, most riding instructors understand the concept is the lead comes from the hind end. And as a horse judge, when you're judging big classes, if that horse wasn't set up right, if he didn't move his hind end over, I knew he was going to miss his lead before they took that first step. And that would help me, spin around and catch the rest of them that missed your lead. Because you miss your lead, that's about 20 points off when you're thinking about it, and you're not going to place in that class. And as a judge, that helps you knock down the class. Now, as an instructor, and my daughter, she really had a hard time with this. I mean, so her riding instructor had to work on her too, to get the horse to listen and to wait. So basically, you ask the horse to move his hips to the inside with your outside leg, and when he gives to that and responds and moves his hips over, that's when you ask him to go forward with your outside seat and you still have your outside leg behind the girth. You can ask for a little bit more leg, and your inside leg is at the girth to keep him on the rail. And basically, he will begin to learn to pick up that lead correctly. But once again, he has to be bending first, so you have to do the groundwork before you start asking. But once he's able to move his hip over, he's usually going to get that lead. And I have another example that's kind of funny. My daughter used to laugh at me that she showed 4-H from the time she was 8 years old. And whenever you're in the warm-up ring, there's a lot of kids that don't have, instructors that their parents have been helping teach them, and they have problems in the warm-up ring. And I would constantly help people, even though they were my daughter's competition. That's what my daughter would think it was funny. Actually, I mean, she wasn't upset because, she learned to ride for herself, not for the competition. So I would help people. And one time there was this girl at this big show that was at the World Equestrian Center when it used to be called Roberts. And the girl kept missing her lead, the one lead in the warm-up arena. And her mom was totally frustrated. And basically, I just said, hey, I can help you. This is what my daughter learned. Did not tell her I was a riding instructor. Just said, I can help you. This is how my daughter has the same problem. And I taught her to move that horse's hip over. And within, 10 minutes, she was getting her lead within 80% of the time. So just within 10 minutes, she could do that. Now, the funny part was she's like, I've been taking lessons, for 2 years, twice a week, and her instructor had her jumping, and she said, well, don't worry about the lead. We're just not going to worry about the lead. And right there, I mean, the kid's going to horse show. She's not going to place if she misses that lead. And so, I mean, basically with teaching her that and having the patience, and her horse was already, he was bending and everything. It was just a matter, it was pilot error is what I call it. So just encouraging her, and, she did well at that show. So should have took my business card and been an instructor, but I've never been in it for the money. I've been in it for the joy of teaching, if that makes sense. Probably why I'm a nurse, because I needed to make money.
But you still do a lot of teaching on the side as a traveling trainer.
I do because I enjoy it so much.
Well, that about wraps it up. You can find links to today's guests and topics at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure to have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go by downloading the free Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or your Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. It's free and easy to use. You can also subscribe via iTunes or your favorite streaming app. Thank you again to our sponsor today, Wintec Saddles. Learn more about Wintec Saddles and the new models for high-withered horses and wide horses at your local tack store, or you can visit them online at wintecsaddles.com. That's saddles plural, wintecsaddles.com. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. So until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging around for the late horse tip. Does your horse make rolling pits in the field? Those big indentations that collect water and dust and crud? Well, you can use corral panels or temporary electric fence to block off that pit. Fill it with composted manure and soil mixed up together, making sure to rake the edges of the pit flat again so you don't end up with a caldera, and then seed it with grass seed. Once the grass is well established, remove the temporary fence.